Hello, Holmes.
Ah, there you are, Watson.
I didn't disturb your playing, I hope.
Not in the least, old fellow. I was just waiting for you to get back from the post office.
Oh, by George, Holmes, how did you know I had gone to the post office? It was a sudden impulse upon my part, and I didn't believe I mentioned it to anyone.
Observation. It tells me that you have a little reddish mold adhering to your instep. Now, just opposite the Wigmore Street post office, they've taken up the pavement and thrown up some earth which has this same reddish tint. Simple, old fellow.
Amazing, Holmes, absolutely amazing.
Nothing to it, Watson. I fear I shall weary you one day with my deductions.
Oh, not at all. It is of the greatest interest to me, especially since I've had the opportunity of observing your practical application of it. But would you think me impertinent if I were to put your theories to a rather severe test?
On the contrary, I should be delighted to look at any problem which you might submit to me.
Now, I've heard you say that it is difficult for a man to have any object in daily use without leaving the impression of his individuality upon it in such a way that it might be read by the trained observer. Now, I have here a watch which has recently come into my possession. Would you have the kindness to give me an opinion of the character or habits of the late owner?
There's hardly any data. The watch has been recently cleaned, which robs me my most suggestive facts.
You're right. It was cleaned before being sent to me.
Although unsatisfactory, my research has not been entirely barren. Subject to your correction, I should judge that the watch belonged to your elder brother who inherited it from your father.
What? Well, that you gather no doubt from the HW upon the back.
Quite so. The W suggests your own name. The date of the watch is some 50 years back, and the initial is as old as the watch. Jewelry usually descends to the eldest son. Your father has, if I remember correctly, been dead for many years. It has therefore been in your brother's hands for quite some time.
Right. So far. Anything else?
A few facts are clear. He was a man of untidy habits, very untidy and careless. He was left with good prospects, but he threw away his chances, lived for some time in poverty, with occasional intervals of prosperity, and finally, taking to drink, he died. That is all I can gather.
This is unworthy of you, Holmes. I would not have believed that you would have descended to this. You have made inquiries into the history of my unhappy brother, and now you pretend to deduce this knowledge in some fanciful way. You cannot expect me to believe that you've read all of that in his old watch. It is unkind, and to speak plainly, has a touch of charlatanism in it.
My dear friend, pray accept my apologies. Viewing the matter as an abstract problem, I'd quite forgotten how painful a thing it might be to you. I assure you, however, that I never even knew you had a brother until you handed me that watch.
Then how, in the name of all that is wonderful, did you get these facts? They are absolutely correct in every particular.
Ah, now that is good luck. I can only say what is the balance of probability. I did not at all expect to be entirely accurate.
But it had to be more than mere guesswork.
No, I never guess. It's a shocking habit, destructive to the logical faculties. What seems strange to you is only so because you do not follow my train of thought or observe the small facts upon which large inferences are made. For example, I began by stating that your brother was careless. If you will observe the lower part of the watch case, you will see that it is not only dented in 2 places, but it is marked and scratched from the habit of keeping the watch with other hard objects, such as keys and coins, in the same pocket. Surely it's no great feat to assume that a man who treats a 50-guinea watch so cavalierly must be careless. Neither is it a far-fetched inference that a man who inherits one object of such value must be pretty well provided for in other respects.
Yeah.
Now then, it is the custom of pawnbrokers to take a watch and scratch the ticket number with a pinpoint. There are no less than 4 such numbers visible to my lens on the inside case. Inference, that your brother was often at low water. Secondary inference, that he had bursts of prosperity or he could not have redeemed the pledge. And finally, if you will look at the inner plate which contains the keyhole, look at the thousands of scratches around the hole, marks where the key has slipped. What sober man's key could have made those grooves? You will never see a drunkard's watch without them. Where is the mystery in all this?
Amazing, Holmes.
Elementary, my dear Watson. Elementary.